Paltrocast.
Good?
Yeah, good to go. How are you?
Steve, I'm good, but I didn't just call you champ. Have I disrespected the legacy right there?
Nah, it's okay. Everybody knows I'm the champ without having to show the belt anyway, so.
Yeah, you are a longtime champion in my book. The reign just keeps going and going and going. Under Siege, it's going to continue, right?
Yes, it's got me and PCO at Under Siege up in London, Ontario, and I'm very much looking forward to getting back up to Canada and pissing off that country, so.
And on the other side of the championship reign, we now see Trinity, and she seems to be coming after your better half. Do we care about that right now?
It's just good for Impact. Just to get more eyes on the Impact. Trinity is a star. My wife is the mega star. So for her being the new age of the Virtuosa and having her title reign, and for us to both win the titles in the same night, it's still kind of bittersweet. And then just to kind of see this transition and seeing someone like Trinity come in, kind of like I did, where she obviously did a lot more in other company beforehand, but it's just kind of cool to see her come into her own. And I'm excited to see how she does. And I know she's going to knock it out of the park like she did with her debut. And it's just a cool thing to see.
But hopefully she goes after the digital media championship or the X division, right?
No, if she goes after my wife, that's okay. That just means good business. That means my wife is the pinnacle of what Impact Knockouts division is, and she has been since she stepped foot in the door. And just like me, once we got to Impact Wrestling, we were given an opportunity, and we just hit the ground running. And that's all we've ever asked for is opportunity. And here we are, a household of champions, and going into Under Siege, both to look to come out as champions as well.
Is that a T-shirt yet? Household of Champions?
No, could be a good thing though.
That really should be trademarked ASAP the second you ended this interview. And I'm not asking for a share of the royalties, but it would be nice.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll look into that. Maybe after I add more to the list later on with titles. My wife's got me beaten. My wife's got me beating that category right now. So
just for now. But anyway, being world champion, did that change your life in any way other than people calling you champ everywhere you go?
No, I think it just kind of gave me the recognition a little bit on, it just shows that I believed in myself, and I took the opportunity that was given by Impact Wrestling and I ran with it. And it just shows that I've been this person the whole time, and I'm evolving still, and winning the title evolved me even more just to go to a different level. Now I have put a lot more pressure on myself just to be hitting harder in the gym, working out, looking better, being able to have these interviews, to do media. Like I love that part of it. I've always wanted to be that guy and have that ball to run with. And I'm loving the opportunity right now.
Becoming world champion, did that see you get reach outs from the USO or other military organizations going, hey, this guy's the face of the company, therefore he should be the face of us?
No, I just I have a lot of friends still in the Marine Corps, a lot of friends in the VA, and it's just cool to, I don't know, just from that community, just to get the recognition, because we're all brothers, we're all sisters, and just we're all a tight-knit group of just a bunch of idiots from the military, especially on the Marine Corps side of being a grunt. And it got to hang out with a few buddies out in California this past weekend. I was out there for a wedding, and it's just cool for them to just be like, dude, it's so awesome, like what you're doing, and how it shows positivity in the veteran community. And like, you don't realize what you're doing at the time, but everybody then PTSD and mental health disorders, suicide, it's always such a negative, and there's never focus on the positive anymore, on like the good things in life. It's always bad news and never the good side of things. So it's just good to, I don't know, get my story out there. And if it helps somebody, just one person, I think I did my job then.
Well said. So what is life looking like for you in the near future, besides holding on to your championship, besides being in a wonderful marriage? Are you the kind of person that's looking 5 years ahead, or are you a week by week kind of person?
The younger me used to look 5 to 10 years ahead. Now I take it day by day. Everything's always changing. I can only control what I can, and that's what I focus on. It's taking care of me, my household, my dogs, my wife, and just worrying about us and just getting it day by day and just enjoying the moments and being able to live in the moments. And I think that's one thing too. It took as long as it did to become a world champion, but it was one of those moments where I just kind of cherished the moment and kind of took it in. It was hard to, I knew what I had to do after I won the title with Scott D'Amore coming out. So it was kind of funny to hold back the tears and the happiness that was in there. But yeah, it was, it's just, I worry day to day. I take it day by day.
Besides this forthcoming Household of Champions merch line that you got, are there any endorsements for Steve Maclin? Is there an energy drink? Is there anything like that?
No, I just actually had a Wrestle Buddy. Series 2 with Impact Wrestling's getting released along with Trinity and Kazarian. So I'm looking forward. That's my first ever like actual lifelike figure in any form. So it was a cool moment. Like I did tear up a little bit when I saw it, and I got the text like, "Hey, we're coming out with this." I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome!" And Dee was laughing. She's just like, "You're like a little kid." I was like, "Yeah, well, I had the Ultimate Warrior Wrestle Buddy when I was a kid, and like now I have my own." I said to my mom, I was like, "I gotta get her one now." So I was excited.
A pejorative question here, a negative question. And I grew up loving the Ultimate Warrior, but how old were you when you realized that he wasn't a great wrestler?
Probably when I got into wrestling, when I started to learn the business. He was good for what he was supposed to do. He's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer, and he had whatever it was as a child. I was just attracted to him. He's energetic, colorful, larger than life, and that was one of those things. Getting into wrestling was like I could never be that. Like I could never like that style. It's still there, but the wrestling business has changed more towards the sports side and the entertainment side, where
Right.
he was full on entertainment attraction, and it was a sight to see when he came sprinting down that aisle. And it was actually funny. One of the manias, we were doing part of a tribute to the troops, and then visiting veterans, and his wife was there, and we got to talking, and I told her just how I used to have the old plastic half chair for the Ultimate Warrior, his Wrestle Buddy, and she was just telling me old Ultimate Warrior stories where it's just cool to just, I don't know, you hear that because he just was the childhood guy that I liked when I saw into wrestling. I was like, this guy is cool. What is this?
Yeah, and one of the 5 arguably most famous wrestlers ever, regardless of wrestling skill. When you think about people who didn't like wrestling, knew who he was, hence him being in that Phil Collins video. You ever see the Ultimate Warrior Phil Collins music video?
Yes. Yes.
Well,
Yes, I have. I love his weightlifting videos. I don't know if you've seen the ones with the kids where he's, yeah, those are my favorite. I love that. That's what you need in the gym.
well, it's interesting to hear that he was an influence because you are more of a reality oriented kind of performer. You are entirely believable. Was there a period of your career where you were trying to be over the top though?
Not so much. I just always try to find, I was taught like when I first got into wrestling, like pick out 3 of your favorite wrestlers that you think you can work like or move like, and you want to like act that way, and what fits best to you. And obviously I went off of Mr. Perfect Selling, Bret Hart, Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, like the ones that I loved growing up. Because I went from that larger than life character of Ultimate Warrior. And then once I started to realize like, oh, pro wrestling is like, I loved the Intercontinental title, like that whole group at that time with Scott Hall. Like I was like, this is Jeff Jarrett, like just the way they moved, and that was the more entertaining side to me. So that's what really I try to translate into now. And I always talk about how Austin and Shawn Michaels worked in like 95, 96 timeframe, where they just never stopped moving. They never went to the crowd so much, but if they did, it had a purpose, it had meaning. And they just really were out there to work and get over. And that's kind of what I try to do now, as well as I still have my fun with the crowd when I want to, but like I'm very much so into the match because I think that's what it is. And it lets the fans focus in more into the story.
Makes sense. Well, 2 quick questions and then I let you go. And the first one is, what is Steve Maclin watching on television these days?
Mayans, the final season starts tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to very much. My wife is currently as well just watching the Selling Sunsets new season, so I'm kind of watching that with her. Not by choice, but it's entertaining. I'm like, wow, how are people buying these houses? What do these people do? But it's entertaining in that. So those are the couple shows right now. We were just waiting on our new shows. We're waiting on Yellowstone to start again. Yeah. And then I just started the new Conor McGregor series on Netflix too. He had his limited documentary. It's like 5 episodes. I think all of them are an hour long. So yeah.
There's so much content. I didn't even know there was a Conor McGregor series on Netflix. So you just hit me to something right there. And the last question I got for you was, which music does Steve Maclin train to when he has control of the jukebox? Are you a Rocky IV soundtrack guy like I think you are?
I've actually been listening to a lot of Rocky, the Creed soundtracks, but I don't even listen to like the music side. I listen to the orchestra and like all the actual parts too, just because it sets the mood. But Rocky IV, you can't go wrong with that soundtrack. if that was blaring on a stereo, yes, I'm into that. But today I had Slipknot going. Actually, I came home from the gym before. I had Slipknot blasting today, volume 3. So yeah, today was a Slipknot day doing legs. So
Does Corey Taylor know you're a Slipknot fan?
I hope so. If not, and he hears this, Corey Taylor, I'm a huge fan. I know he's got a new album coming out too. I follow a lot of music going on still. Big fan. So yeah, big fan of Slipknot and Corey Taylor and all his solo stuff, especially with Stone Sour as well.
Steve, you got taste. Well, hey, looking forward to you retaining at Under Siege, looking forward to Diana retaining, etc. But thank you for your time and really looking forward to whatever's to come soon from you, and get that trademark while you still can.
Appreciate it. House of Champions.
Paltrocast.